we have old, very traditional relations with Russia, and there are some very traditional strengths which other countries can aspire to. But Russia, in a sense, has a lead time of over 6 decades. So it was good that France has started in 1988. The United States is starting now. But they have a long time to go because, the capital investment in the India-Russia relationship in terms of uh, strategic convergence on key geopolitical matters, including the fact that Russia has a fundamental interest in the balance of power in Asia, and they don't want a unipolar Asia. They do want a multipolar world as well. Uh, and the fact that they are comfortable with India's growth, they have been very comfortable in sharing the best that they can offer for India's growth. And they see India's growth as adding to their own security. It's not just good for us, it's good for them. I think certain fundamentals are still very valid. There's an extraordinarily good relationship between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin, which is a very strong asset for the relationship. Because in this very turbulent world, as we move along, I think the pulls and pressures on the bilateral relationship have been quite good. So I think the relationship between our leaders adds a sort of, there is a populist sentiment. I think there's been a generational change both in India and Russia since the Soviet period, which is natural. But I think there's still a populist sentiment that we don't mean ill to each other. Of course, Russia is now engaged and is preoccupied, so to speak, with its back to the wall in protecting its peripheries on its western borders, which is the result of the breakdown of mutual accommodation in the geopolitical sense and strategic pressures that they've faced from the United States and NATO in Ukraine. We can argue whether there were lost opportunities for peace, for mutual accommodation, but whatever the fact is that now the war is in its second year, the chances are it looks like that until there is a further evolution of the military situation, neither side is willing to move towards dialogue and a peace settlement. Now, the military situation itself is changing in Russia's favor. Russia is slowly getting the upper hand, but this war has thrown up surprises. So we cannot rule out a lot of outcomes that we had not anticipated. But whatever it is, the prolonged war is having a very negative effect on the international balance of power. And the international balance of power is the following: that Russia is weakened by the war, naturally because of the sanctions, because of the economic and energy restructuring that is taking place in the world. But it is fighting back. The United States is recommitted in Europe. It has gone back into Europe, into NATO in a very big way. NATO itself is expanding with just half the resources. So in a sense, the United States and NATO are overextended. And the country that is which sees this as a golden opportunity for geopolitical expansion is China, because there were other players in the international system. Now, this is a tendency, a trend that is definitely not in our favor. The two big partners that we have, Russia and the United States, are due to their own compulsion and due to definitely miscalculations on both sides, have entered into a phase of confrontation over which there is no easy way out. Now,
Sure.
Prime Minister's message has been very clear. It is not just a message for peace. We've said, the PM said that this is not an era of war, but I think there was strong strategic content in that message, which is to say that war cannot be the solution for such deep-seated problems. There will be no outright winners in this war, and I think we have been proven to. It has also had a bilateral effect on our bilateral relations, our defense ties,
Right.
our banking and financial ties. I think there is need for a readjustment in our India-Russia relationship. Russia will continue to remain important for us, not only because of the fact that a substantial portion of our military equipment is of Soviet or Russian origin. While we do a transition, and we will do a transition over a period of time. I think it's in our interest that our friends and partners, particularly in the West, allow India to do this transition towards greater production, greater Make in India, greater Atmanirbhar Bharat, according to our pace and our objectives. So I think you mentioned the CAPSA legislation in the United States. I think it's a very self-defeating legislation, and it is, I think, a measure of the strength of our diplomacy that we actually made the United States see its own self-interest in not applying it to India.
Right.
From the fact that, you can't have a situation where China and the United States have the same objective of wanting to force
Right.
India to weaken its defense relationship with Russia, which is
Right.
essential for its security needs.